All right, we back. Like I said, I was gonna bring my fiance on here on the next one.
That's me.
We in here because I ain't want it to sound like I was being like one sided
Right.
with man stuff, even though
What
it
are
was
we talking
facts.
about? It was facts. We're talking about masculine and feminine energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, what we gonna pick up was, all right, what does it take to bring like the feminine side out of a woman, from the woman's point of view?
From the woman's point of view,
Uh huh.
okay, to be honest, the way that I feel about that in general is that you should be feminine for yourself, first and foremost. Like, it shouldn't
Facts.
be just because you're trying to, like, impress a man or be with a man. Like, you are naturally prone to being in your feminine energy, and that's where you work the best at.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, like, a man, I feel like what really brings out the feminine energy is just whenever a man takes the lead and when a woman feels protected for. Like, if a
Yeah.
woman feels safe, then she's naturally able to, like, sit back in her feminine energy.
Yeah, that makes sense. I always put it like, I think I told you this one before. Like, basically, for one, every dude feel like somebody should be submissive, but everybody ain't a good leader. That's
No.
like facts. And so it's like you on the road trip and the man is driving. The woman should feel comfortable falling asleep while you're driving, knowing you're not gonna take her off a cliff.
That is such a
Like,
small example, but it's so
yeah, like
true.
that's how it
Like,
is for like if you known for going off cliffs and be like, nah, like boom, 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 like just relax,
we're
like I
gonna
got
stay
this.
awake.
And y'all done been off cliffs before, you known for crashing cars. Like you can't be trying to get somebody to be comfortable with your driving. Like you got to be, feel me, a good leader.
And that can literally apply to everything. Like, we were talking about that earlier. You know what I mean? About how when a woman feels unsafe or she feels like she's lacking like the masculine energy, we naturally fall into a more masculine role. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So, like, if certain things aren't being taken care of, like around the house, or like, we feel like we have to like direct you in some way, then that's us literally taking on like a
Yeah.
masculine energy.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, that book, the Where the Superior Man, how
Yeah.
it balanced. That was like the last thing I posted, was talking about the balance between the masculine and feminine, and
Yeah.
that was an example. Like it used an example of a dude, the husband like not working but not looking for a job, and the wife having to be like, "Did you apply for the job yet? Oh no, not
Yes.
yet." And then it's like the woman having to be the one to be
Pushing.
responsible. Like, come on, like you supposed to be
And
making
that's
sure
where
we
all
all
the
right.
nagging and stuff starts coming in at. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
tell people not to be nagging in general, but I understand why it happens. Because if a man
yeah,
isn't taking care of business the way that he's supposed to, then, and we want to be with them, it's going to be like nagging, nagging, nagging. But I feel like if you're even in that type of situation and that other person is even trying to like be in his masculine, then you need to leave. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
there's no reason to break your feminine energy just because your partner is not fulfilling what you need,
Yeah, that's
if
fact.
that makes
Yeah, that's a
sense.
real spill. And I think how's the way to put it? Because in general, this only works with somebody that wants to be a leader, somebody that wants to be feminine.
Yes.
Don't think like you got people on social media be like, I need a man to do this so I can be like, nah.
No.
Some people do not like, it's women that don't respect men, period. It don't matter how much of a leader, how genuine you are. She not about to let no man lead
Lead.
nothing. Like, so if
And
you with somebody like that, don't even waste your time. Like, she
no.
gotta go.
And really, it comes down to like, I feel like it comes with like men and women, but like,
Hmm.
if you haven't worked on like your traumas or know like certain triggers, like things that trigger you to be aggressive, like say you've been in
Hmm.
like bad relationships in the past or something, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then moving into like a new relationship, and say the man is masculine, you know what I mean? But you're
Hmm.
still coming at him with all this aggression and things like that. Like, understand where that's coming from, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like, you have to just sit
You
back.
gotta pump your brakes
Yes,
because you don't
sit
wanna.
back. You're
Yeah.
saying like, oh, you want your man to lead, you want him to make decisions, you want him to, boom, plan a date or so. Okay, let's just take the example of like planning a date.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're asking your man to plan a date and then he goes out his way to plan a date,
Uh huh.
and then now you're saying, he's like, okay, be ready by this time, we're gonna go to the seafood restaurant, whatever, whatever, wear this.
Hmm.
And you're like, the seafood restaurant?
Then that.
It blows it
Yeah.
all. Like, he's not going to want to do anything for you. Like, okay, he might not do what you want him to do exactly how you want him to do it, but like
Yeah.
praise him for like making the effort, because eventually he's gonna get it right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you're like talking down to him and things in the moment of, he's not gonna feel like he wants to try to do anything right.
Yeah, it's gonna come down. You basically treat the other person how you would want to be treated. Like you hear that all the time, but it literally. And I heard this. It was on Terrence Gangster Williams podcast or on his channel. He said, think 3 times before you say something.
Yeah.
Like I heard that last week, and I'm like, dang, that's facts. So like, think 3 times before you say something, and always think like, if this was said to me by my partner, how would I feel some type of way?
Right.
And things go a lot smoother after that. Like
It definitely
that's
does.
some good game.
You have to like, if you see that somebody is putting in effort, like give them their praises for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's, even if it goes as small as like, if you want your man to like clean up around the house more often or something, and you tell him that, and he cleans up, he does something like clean something up, but he doesn't do it exactly how you would do it. It doesn't matter. You asked him to clean. Like,
Right.
so say like, thank you, babe. Thank you so much for helping me today. Like, and if something needs tweaked, just fix it.
Right.
But he made the effort to do it. So
Yeah.
why are you going to like go back and make him feel bad? He's never going to want to put in the effort to do it anymore.
Right. And then if it's something that need to be fixed, it's a way, like not right there on the spot, like you did this wrong, but down the line, be like, hey, babe, let me show you this.
Yes.
Try like this. And it's like, oh, okay. Then it's like, are you helping me polish up, but I'm not being like
Rude
belittled.
about it.
Yeah.
Not belittled and like disrespectful about it.
Yeah.
I feel like that goes both ways though.
It do.
Because you want to feel like you're doing something right. Like, because I feel like in a man's mind, if you tell them to do something and then they make the effort to do it, and then you're still like, oh, you didn't do that right. It's like, dang, like I don't do anything right then. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, what's the
Yeah.
point of it all?
Yeah, that makes sense though. Yeah, it just come down to being patient.
Yeah.
And then like the more you learn your partner, you learn like how to speak to him over time.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's for real. Like what we had to do when we first like start dating and we first moved together. I had to buy the book on like women, like how to be a man, like the 5 love languages on how to deal with a woman. Because it's the first time I'm living with a woman every day since I was a teenager with my mom and sister. Like, and this like Lexi had to learn about men. Like, okay, men think like this.
Oh yeah, that changed the game. That changed everything for me, because men are so much more simple than like I was making them out to be. Like I was always searching for like gray areas in like your responses to things. I was putting on like you thought like I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and we don't think the same. Like we're different for a reason. They are more logical and we're more emotional thinkers. Like regardless of how logical presenting you may be, because I feel like I'm a logical presenting person, but I know that I'm not logical all the time. Like I think with my emotions a lot.
Yeah. And some stuff is just simple.
Yeah, but honestly, none of it will work if you have one person that doesn't want to change.
Never.
You know what I'm saying? So like if somebody doesn't want to change, like you're not going to change them.
Right.
All you can do is change yourself to attract what it is that you want to attract. So if you want to attract a masculine man, or if you want to attract a feminine woman, then you align yourself to be everything that a feminine woman is looking for, or everything that a masculine man is looking for.
Yeah, it fit like puzzle pieces.
Literally.
Or even the other way, if you are a masculine woman, don't look for a masculine man, it's not gonna work.
Even if you do look for it, it's still not going to work. Like they're going to toss you to the side so fast, or what's going to happen is you're going to demasculinate him in the relationship. Yeah. And he's going to become feminine.
Right.
Or vice versa.
Chances are, if you let a woman make you feminine, you was already feminine. That's logical right there. Ain't no,
but no, I'm saying they can have like masculine traits. You know what I'm saying? And then like if you come in and like are constantly like belittling, because we're like, we can nurture something to become. You know what I'm saying? Like.
It's like taking care of plants. You can't change
anything, but you can nurture it to become like what you want it to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, if you're saying that you want a masculine man, but you're constantly belittling him and taking away his masculinity, and he's choosing to stay with you, then he's eventually going to become feminine, and you're going to become the masculine. It happens all the time. It happens in
Right.
relationships all the time.
Yeah, little by
But
little.
you're right. Like if they truly were like in their masculine, they wouldn't allow a woman to do that to them.
Right.
But it's rare to really find that. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of guys that aren't like that. Like they'll let themselves be demasculinated, whatever the word
Yeah.
is.
It's because I think women, I think it was on that podcast, women are usually more like, all right, this works better for me. And men are like, more like sacrifice for the family. Like, all right, I'll do it. Like,
Yes.
all right, I'm gonna be tired
Yes.
and work 7 days a week to benefit the family, even though it's like,
Even
but it
they don't
make
want
everything
to.
work. So, all right.
I think that too. That's why I feel like men are the real lovers. Like I really do.
Yeah.
And the only reason why is because I think that sometimes women can be a little selfish.
Yeah, and a man is not about to come home after a long day crying about his day. You just gonna come in like, I'm cool.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. I mean, men can
Yeah.
be selfish in other ways, you know what I mean? Like you have like the people who are like cheaters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like women are selfish in a lot of other ways. Like
Mm-hmm.
in the moments like we're only caring about like what we think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It just comes down to like, you gotta have a woman that understands
Yeah.
that if she can be selfish, not to like take advantage of it and make it like
Yeah.
everything is my way. Since I know my husband is gonna let me be selfish, like you don't want that. You want somebody that could be like, you know what, I'm sorry, I'm being selfish.
Yeah, be able to
Yeah.
acknowledge it. That's like one of the best traits to have in any person that you're dealing with, whether you're in like a same-sex relationship or like,
Yeah.
you know, like a straight relationship. Like that's one of the best traits to have in a person is somebody who's able to look at themselves and see where their faults are,
Yeah.
and not somebody who blames everything on everybody else and never sees their own faults.
Right, because that's part of growing, especially like in our 20s too. Like when we met, we still in our 20s, like we growing as people anyway, and then we growing together. And it got to come down to like, am I willing to grow and like self-observe stuff I need to fix? If you ain't with somebody that can be like, all right, I got a anger problem I need to work on ABC so it doesn't affect my partner. Like, if this is like, all right, we'll just cover like red flags or
Okay.
certain stuff that's like the foundation you got to have. For one, your religious beliefs got to be somewhat similar. Like, if that foundation is different, y'all gonna bump heads. Another
All
one,
the time,
yeah,
especially if you take it serious. Like
right.
if you have strong religious beliefs.
And the other one is the opposite. Y'all are not, because it's something dear to you that mean a lot, and this could be triggering if somebody don't agree with it. Another one is like
And it bleeds into all aspects of your life.
yeah,
That's the thing with like religion, because it's your moral compass.
mm-hmm,
So it bleeds into so many aspects of your life. So if you're viewing the world one way and your partner is viewing it completely opposite,
yeah,
it's going to be like
bumping
constant
heads.
bumping heads.
Yep. Another one is politics. Like some people make it work, I guess, but they bump heads because we not political at all. But people that are, like, I hear people's sides. Like one person is pro this and the other one is anti that. Like
Oh my God.
y'all gonna be fighting about that. That's a major one.
And it goes into like your families too, because usually it's because you were raised that way, like
Yeah.
raised to think that way. So now you're gonna have issues with your in-laws. Like it
Yeah,
just
it's
goes
deep.
into, yeah, it
Yeah.
goes so deep.
It is. And the last one is just like we already said, be with somebody that's willing to
change.
to change and grow, but not change for the bad, like change for
Yeah,
the good.
and not really change for them,
Mm-hmm.
but like I think that relationships just create like a mirror to yourself. You know what I mean? Like you
Right.
could do so much healing and so much work on yourself, but as soon as you get into a relationship, like all kinds of new stuff starts popping up and you're like, "Oh, I've never been in this situation before."
Yeah.
Like
Like our families being like, my family's a little more chill. We see each other sometime, and yours is like all the
super
time.
close. Yeah.
So it's like being like, I'm used to chilling at the house by myself for weeks and weeks at a time.
He's like super introvert. He can be super
Yeah.
introverted. Like he has his moments where he's like introverted, like just wants to be by himself, and then he'll come out. Like
Yeah, like I'll pop out, and like my family understand that, but like when you join together with another person, this is not the people you grew up with, so they may not be used to, your way
you
of
needed
living.
your space.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the thing with my family because like sometimes he just needed to be home,
Yeah.
and it was like it was like where's Jevin at? Like, why isn't he around?
Yeah.
And I'm like, he just wants to be inside today. But they always felt like something was wrong, and it's like, no, he literally just wants to be inside.
Yeah,
Like it's literally that simple.
yeah, like my family know I would disappear for a week or two. Like I would just be, wouldn't nothing be wrong. I'd just be like, I need to recharge. I'm about to chill at the
That's because
house.
you're an empath. You're like a
Yeah,
feeling empath. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
he gets really easily affected by different energy, and
yeah.
some
Like I
he
could
just
just,
needs to recharge.
yeah, like I being around a bunch of people is like draining sometimes. And I'm like, all right, I don't feel like doing nothing. And
Yeah,
then I pop back out like, oh, what up?
yeah.
Yeah,
So there's just differences that like pop up in relationships that you didn't have to deal with when you were by yourself.
yeah.
Even the way that we like argued at the beginning, remember?
Mhm.
How like I wanted to talk about it right then and there. Like boom, I need to talk about it right now. Like
Yeah,
I don't want to cool off. I want to talk about it now.
yeah.
And
It's like
he's
no.
like, I need space. I need to think. And I'm like, you're abandoning me. Like, what do you mean you need to think?
Yeah, like no, like I'm trying to chill. And I got like I always been a hothead, so I'm like I don't want to be a hothead. So let me cool out. But little stuff, moral of the story, you don't want to. That's just how I am, type of
Yeah.
person. Like that's just me. I ain't changing. Like that's you gonna push somebody away basically with that attitude. Like this is just how I am. Get
Definitely.
used to it.
Yeah, no, I don't feel
No,
like anybody should say that to their partner.
yeah,
Especially if they're coming to you with a problem that they have, like that you're doing, you're doing something to them, or like within their personality, or something is triggering them. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? Because we all have different triggers. So if you're like doing something that's triggering your partner, and your partner comes and tells you like, hey, like this doesn't roll with me, like this isn't cool,
yeah. It
and
ain't.
you're telling him, oh, that's just me. That is not okay.
No, that's not it.
That is not okay.
Cause you gonna end up by yourself eventually. Like, cause ain't
Yes.
nobody about to
Or
keep.
just miserable.
Yeah,
Because don't you want the other person to listen to you whenever you have an issue. So
yeah.
why would you just be like, "Oh, this is how I am." Do you want them to respond to you like that? Like, "Oh, this is how I am," instead of being like,
hmm
"Oh, I'll work on it."
Yeah, that's real. And I think one thing I was talking to somebody about this earlier. A lot of people got couples that they look up to and want to be like. We don't have one. Like we just do. We just
We
do
do
our thing.
not
Like
have one. I can't name a single couple that I can look at and be like, "I want to be just like them."
no, like do
And
what
you
works for
shouldn't.
you.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I'm not gonna say you shouldn't be like that, but like you don't know the ins and outs of anybody's relationship. You know what I
Right.
mean? Say your grandparents have been married for 40 plus years. You don't know the ins and outs of their
Yeah.
relationship. Like you're just an outsider looking in.
Right. You don't know
So
how it's really going.
no.
Next thing you know, at the funeral, aunts and uncles you ain't never met popping up like, dang, we thought everything was smooth in they whole situation. Like, just don't look up to nobody else. Do work for you. Like, even people compare celebrities like such and such bought them this. That mean I need to have this from you. Like, that's not everybody's situation different. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, that stuff triggers me. That stuff is
it's
so
annoying.
annoying to me. It's not even
Yeah.
funny because it's like you have no idea what they're even going through, or like if the relation, especially the age of social media.
Yeah, that's the
Social
worst.
media shows highlights of people's lives.
And the highlight they want you to have.
Yes, just the highlights that they want you to have. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like, how can you sit there and look at that and be like, oh, I want this? You're only seeing the ups. Like, you're not seeing
Right.
any of the downs, how they handle anything else. You know, you don't even know these
Yeah.
people.
And people fall for it.
All you see is something that's shiny.
It's a frequency thing. Like everybody, it's like you understand everybody at a different frequency. And
Yeah,
certain
that's true.
frequencies, like you can see straight through stuff, and then some people may not be able to look at something and be like, oh, this is ABC. Like some people fall for the okie doke every time.
Most people fall for the okie
Most people.
Yes.
It's all about. It come down to teamwork. Like you think about people playing ball. You got a point guard. Take your point guard and your center. The point guard bring the ball up the court. Your center is grabbing rebounds. If the ball get loose, the center not about to be like, that's the point guard job. I ain't about to get that. Like, no, you might have to go get the ball right quick. And the
Yes.
point guard, it might be times where he catch the rebound because the center ain't by the rim. Like, that's just how it go. And if you enter a relationship with, well, I ain't cleaning nothing. That's the woman job. Or you lose your job and the woman be like, well, I ain't about to help out with nothing. That's on you. it ain't my fault y'all company laid off. Like people got that mindset.
A lot of people have that mindset.
Yeah, like no, in order to grow and get to the goal, it take the team. Like it ain't just one player hitting all the points.
And sometimes it's just a balancing act. Like life happens in all ways. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your girl might be tired that day, doesn't want to clean. Why not help them out and clean? You know what I
Right.
mean? Maybe something happened to like your man's car, like, and he had to spend a big expense. It's like, okay, well, I got the power bill this month. What is the big deal in doing that if you have it
Right.
to do? If you're supposed to be a team,
Mm-hmm.
then it's a team effort to make the lifestyle that you want.
It
That's how
come,
we view
yeah,
it. But like not everybody sees it that way, and that's why there's different types of relationships.
right. So it's like, do what works for you. Some people, how do I put this nicely, are simps. And they like,
Really?
well, yeah, like some people just simps, like, man, like, dang, bro, what happened? I thought you got paid this week. Yeah, but you know, I had to give up my money and stuff. I'm like, dang, she don't understand that you got ABC. Nah, man, she don't care. So it's cool though. Like,
That's so
but
sad.
and the person clearly not cool. They walking on like this, like, man, you know. It was one, like, I won't say the
That's
person.
sad.
It was a person I knew. He married a girl and she had 3 kids, and he didn't have any.
They were all her kids.
They were all hers, and she didn't want no more. And she stayed at home and he worked. But this the kicker: he couldn't spend none of his money without her permission. And we like, as men, we like, bro, what's wrong with you? Nah, you know, hey, the old lady, you know, like, no, I don't know, bro.
No, like
Like you
that's
tweaking.
wild.
But some people, that's the masculine, feminine. Like he's more the feminine, she's the masculine. Like
He
you,
literally has a just finance role.
yeah, like no, you gonna help take care of me and my kids. I'm not giving you no kid, and you gonna pay the bills for us. Like
That's
and
crazy.
some, but you
But they
gotta,
do
yeah,
it.
like the book explained that they used to frustrate me. Like, bro, how you going? But once you understand the masculine and the feminine, certain people have that role. Like it's frustrating because it's not my situation. And I don't agree, but it's something for everybody. Like some
It is
men,
something for everybody, but I'm just thinking, I feel like I know deep down that woman is not happy, and obviously
yep,
that man is not happy.
yeah,
So I feel like eventually someone's gonna cheat. Like,
yeah, of
and it's
course,
probably gonna be her because she's wearing the pants, so she
right.
can do that.
Yeah, but it's like the same way with crime. It's sad, like dang, people got to commit crimes, but crimes is gonna be committed regardless. Like that's life, and maybe it's somebody's purpose right now to be robbing people for whatever their reason is for life.
Yeah.
Like you can understand something but not agree.
Right. Yeah,
That's how I
that's
look at
true.
stuff like that. Like when I see somebody in a bad spot, it's like, all right, maybe you need to be in this situation
Yeah.
for
Or
whatever
maybe it's
reason.
just
I
a
don't
bad
know.
spot for us looking in, but they might be happy with
Yeah, some
it.
people like being a simp or a trick. Like,
Well, no,
yeah.
I think the only reason that they have to be like that is because they have to lead with their pockets because they have no game.
Yeah, it's a self-esteem thing. Like if you know you him, like you like man, I just my presence alone will draw people to me. But it's like man,
Yeah.
I don't have the confidence, but I got money, so here y'all go. Y'all like me now, and deep down you know they don't like you,
Yes.
but it give you that. It's like somebody that's on drugs. Like you know this ain't no good for you, but it give you that fake good feeling for however long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Honestly, the brokest, most nothing ass dudes be having all the women. It's because they have game.
yep. That's what I learned from my friend Mac that passed away. He did not have money, but his presence, like he lit up the room. Everybody loved him, and he wasn't rich, he wasn't flashy, but he had all the girls because his energy was just like, man. Everybody was like, man, I want to hang with that dude. He cool, like, and that was like a life lesson before he passed. Like,
Yeah.
that was to teach us. I think like just you yourself can have more weight than any material thing in this world. Like your presence
You
means
yourself
everything.
has more weight than anything else because and I say this all the time, like especially to women who like only want to be with like the provider kind of guy, but that's their like first priority. What happens when it all goes away?
They
Because
go away.
money literally comes and goes like this. You know what I
Right.
mean? You can lose it all tomorrow, all of
Yeah.
it, and then what? Like what else does that man have to offer
Yeah.
you?
You want something somebody can't take away from you.
Your
Like,
character.
yeah, like money, you can own a whole company and get sued. Now you broke. But if your character is something that's unique, can't nobody take your character
Yeah.
away from you or your pride
Right.
or your personality. Like that's permanent.
And your drive can be part of your character. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So even if somebody were to lose everything, like, you know that they can get it back
Right.
because they know how to do that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But like, you have these people who don't know. You know, they just get money from like the lottery or something, and now they have all these girls. Then it's all gone, and your
Yep.
girls go with it. Everything
Hmm.
goes with it. Your friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like,
Or you rapping and you hot right now, but then you fall off, and
yeah.
you still got bill. You still got a $1 million house and stuff, but you making 1,000 a month now.
Oh my
Like you
God.
screwed. But that's our free game.
That's our game.
Yep.
Yes.
So hope y'all enjoy it. We be back on
More
the
to
next one.
come. I
More to
love talking
come.
about stuff like this.
Oh yeah, this going up. Till next time.